Lamar Jackson could be on his way out of Baltimore. And is Aaron Rodgers actually going to be a New York Jet? We'll talk about it right after this. You make it happen. You come back from the brink of hell. Kind of in a love triangle situation right now. And to help illustrate what needs to happen this next week for each team to make the playoffs, I have this nice whiteboard.
Oh, Jesus.
This one's for you.
Divorce is tough, man.
I guess, yeah. Divorce is hard. Poor guy. Hopefully he can still kiss his son on the lips, though. Anyways,
Also, you know what you should do?
what's that?
You should just make like a generic like and subscribe clip that you could just put in there every time.
Just stare into their souls and like and subscribe.
Like and subscribe. Welcome back to the most unprofessional sports YouTube channel on the platform. I am your host, Zach Circleberg Burkle, here with my co-host today, Aaron, Siege, and Joe. Go ahead and say hi, guys.
Hi guys.
What up?
Yeah.
What up?
All right.
I keep waiting for you to whack your leg when you spin around.
One of these days it'll happen, I promise you that. But welcome back to Swivel Chair Sports. Let's go ahead and get into our first story. Lamar Jackson has appeared to have his
English, you know?
Yeah.
Tough.
Pretty hard.
Let's go ahead and get to our first story. Lamar
Dude, read the
Jackson-
script. We wrote it already. I put it in bold. You can't mess up.
All right. On to our first story.
Okay, let's go, Floyd Mayweather.
On to our first story. Lamar Jackson and the Baltimore Ravens cannot seem to come to an agreement on a contract extension. The Ravens have placed the non-exclusive franchise tag on Lamar Jackson. However, that does give him the opportunity to go and search for a better deal elsewhere. I guess what we can talk about here is what are some teams that might be a good fit, and do you think he is going to return to the Ravens or inevitably leave Baltimore? Aaron, I'll start with you. What do you think? Do you think Lamar Jackson's on his way out of Baltimore? And if so, where's he going?
Well, one thing you have to remember is the non-exclusive tag means that the Ravens have a chance to match whatever
True.
offers put through. So that's always something to remember. Whether or not Lamar wants to come back at this point is a whole other thing. Good fits. I mean, I think Atlanta's probably the best one that I can think of. They have a really good run game. They're just kind of a similar style offense. They got some good young weapons in Drake London and Kyle Pitts. So
Yeah.
I think it's a good fit. But another thing that we might touch on a little bit later would be maybe the Jets. The whole Aaron Rodgers thing, if they don't like how that's going,
Yeah.
they already said that they're going to go through with the deal in good faith. But I think that's Lamar Jackson, the better option. He might not be as good as Aaron Rodgers, but I think he's a better long-term solution.
Oh, for sure. There's no telling how long Aaron Rodgers is going to stick around in the league at his age. The Falcons are a great option for him too. Whether or not the Atlanta Falcons want to take on what his contract will inevitably be is another story. But him, along with that running game they already have down there, it'd be a pretty scary team for anybody to go up against, especially in a really, really weak division down there in the NFC South. Buccaneers.
Don't have any faith in your guy Baker?
I mean, maybe Baker Mayfield can turn back the clock, similar to how Tom Brady did when he moved down to Tampa Bay. But
That new star, Derek Carr down in the Saints.
Derek Carr is on the Saints. That's another good option. Yeah, no, I don't have a lot of faith in him either. Though. And then who's the other team? Carolina Panthers. Yeah, unless C.J. Stroud.
We're gonna draft a stud quarterback. So
Yeah. Just I mean, if C.J. Stroud comes out gunslinging, because that's probably who's going to be the Panthers' pick at number 1 overall, then maybe they have a shot at the division. But I mean, it's really up in the air with who's going to win the NFC South. Have the Falcons? Are they kind of going forward with Mariota as of now, or have they signed anybody?
No, they
I don't
announced recently that they're going with Ritter
Okay, they are going with Red.
from Cincy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
did they even re-sign Mariota?
I don't know.
No.
I don't know. That's why I just knew he was the quarterback last year. But Ritter makes more sense. I mean, you drafted him for a reason, even if it was, I think, in the third round? Is that when it was, or the fourth, something like that?
I don't know.
I know it was in the first.
I thought it was fourth.
So, uh, but Joe, what do you think about Lamar Jackson? You think he's on his way out of Baltimore?
By the way, Mariota is. I'm pretty sure he's back up in Philly now.
Okay,
I
that's
think they say he's
He
gonna be the number
was
2.
Minshew.
Round 3.
Is Minshew still available then? Unless he signed somewhere. Did he sign with the Colts? I feel like he might have signed with the Colts.
Colts.
Okay.
Yeah, Indy.
I remember seeing that now. But,
As far as Lamar goes, though, I mean, considering he requested the trade that is just now coming out public, like they've had the last, at least this past season, most likely 2 seasons
Yeah.
to negotiate this extension. Everybody knew it was coming. So the fact that they still haven't reached it, like, it's all based on the guaranteed money. I mean, Deshaun Watson's contract just kind of screwed up a whole lot of things. But, for Lamar, I kind of get it. It's been 2 years. If the Ravens aren't budging, then at some point maybe stick your ground. My thing is he going to play this year under the franchise tag, or does he sit?
that would be a really interesting, especially with his injury problems the last 2 years.
Exactly, and like people are questioning the injury problems, but I mean, if he sits out, like, just what is the view of him become then? Like, it
Yeah.
already seems like the media is going against him and trying to like make a big deal. That's all Lamar Jackson's fault.
Right.
If he decides to sit out on the franchise tag, like, it's only just gonna keep coming out to him.
Yeah.
But I mean, it'll be interesting. I agree with you guys on the fits for the other team. So, it does seem like, though, him being in Baltimore, like, it won't shock me if he decides to sit out this season if he doesn't
You
get a new
think he
contract.
turned down $32 million though, just to sit out a season?
No, not necessarily. I'm just saying I don't think it just wouldn't shock me if he did it, just simply off the fact that he's willing to hold out for the contract. Because I mean, if he sits out and they're absolutely trash,
I mean, they
yes,
could
if
win
he
a game
plays
without
this year
him.
it'll be under the $32 million tag. But at that point, it might push more even to the fact that either y'all pay me or I'm out of here, because obviously you need me.
Yeah.
So
I mean, they obviously need him. I mean, it showed last year in the last 4 or 5 games, however many it was, where they couldn't seem to get a bio win. Their defense played well, but the offense just couldn't get anything going without Lamar Jackson under center. They end up fizzling out in the first round of the playoffs. Large part due to Lamar Jackson not being there. I think they probably win the division if Lamar Jackson would have played the entire season. They might have been able to hold off the Bengals. I believe they would have personally. So I think it's already shown that Lamar Jackson is vital to that team's success. And if you just let a talent like that walk out the door, then you better be ready for the repercussions. And the repercussions are probably going to be not being a very good football team for the foreseeable future. So, I don't know.
it just sucks that he's the one getting bashed for it.
Yeah.
Not like all these other quarterbacks haven't
Yeah.
done their own negotiations to get that stuff. So,
Yeah.
like, and Deshaun Watson got the deal in the midst of all the crap he was in. So
Yeah,
I'm like, it's kind of crazy to see that he can get that kind of deal, but Lamar Jackson, no trouble off the field. Sure, you could say the injuries the past couple of years, but former MVP, like, that guy can't get a contract though right now, and
Right.
you have all these teams publicly, quote unquote, saying that they refuse to negotiate for him. Like,
Yeah, that's crazy.
it's just kind of weird.
Yeah, you've already had like teams like the Bucks and the Patriots say no. I'm pretty sure the Falcons said no. Dolphins, I believe, also said no. Jets
Yeah.
are going with Aaron Rodgers, so it's really interesting. And you brought up a good point with him negotiating his own contract. Aaron, you brought this up yesterday. Do you think that could be a huge reason as to why he's not finding the deal he's looking for?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it helps not having representation. It's harder to get a hold of him, and I'm pretty sure I saw Michael Lombardi, I think it was, on the Pat McAfee show, said that could have also been the reason that he fell in the draft. I didn't realize he didn't have representation going into the draft, so he's never had an agent, and I think that could really be biting him in the ass at this point.
Yeah. Yeah, it's definitely. I mean, it's tough. I mean, we've seen in the past where some players are able to negotiate their own contracts and it works out perfectly fine. But for whatever reason, in this situation, it seems to be like the number one reason people are saying that Lamar can't get the deal he's looking for, and the deal that, in my opinion, he rightfully deserves. I think he deserves to be one of the top paid quarterbacks in the league. with what he's shown throughout his young career. I mean, he's won an MVP, like you said, Joe. He's led the Ravens to the playoffs just about every single year he's played. Uh, I mean, he's a franchise level quarterback, and to just kind of stiff the guy on that is kind of weird. You went through a similar situation with Le'Veon Bell with the Steelers back in the day, Joe. Can you is there any sort of comparison you can make between the two?
Yeah, I mean, it's just you get to that stalemate, and as a Steeler fan, we really don't pay big time money. Like up until recently, the past couple of years, where we paid Minka top safety money and T.J. Watt DPOY. So like paying him the money, like these are kind of the first times the Steelers have really done it because there was a time when we had Antonio Brown when he was on that insane run. In the middle of that, we had to negotiate a contract, and it got to a stalemate where people didn't think he was going to come back because we don't pay players like that. So, I mean, Le'Veon Bell wanted the guaranteed money. That was his thing, and he was willing to stick to his guns. We were willing to stick to ours, and at that point, I mean, he got the guaranteed money he wanted. Went to the Jets,
it
and
essentially ended his career, but
but he got the guaranteed big time money that he wanted. So, I mean, it really just comes down to that. How bad does Lamar want the money, or how bad is he willing to take any kind of discount in order to still play in Baltimore? I mean,
and I mean, it's different. Quarterback lifespans are a lot longer than running back lifespans. A peak running back a running back's peak is typically only like 5 years. Quarterbacks
not
is,
even.
yeah,
It's down
it's
to
down
I
to
think
3 now.
3
Is that what it is?
statistically.
3.5 years, yeah.
Yeah.
So a running back doesn't last as long. So it is different in that sense, where Lamar Jackson's got another 10 plus years ahead of him. Especially if he can learn to be a better passer. Not saying he's not a good passer, but his running ability is definitely the biggest reason he's as good as he is. And if he can increase if he can make his passing ability equal to that running ability, or at least close to it, then it could extend his life even longer. We see it with quarterbacks like Tom Brady, who play till they're 45, who they're a pocket passer, and the reason they last that long is because they avoid taking hits. And Lamar Jackson doesn't necessarily take a lot of hits, but he puts a lot of stress on those joints, especially the knees, with all the cutting he does and all the stop start. I understand why teams are reluctant with a quarterback of his play style, but at the same time, he's proven time and time again he's worth the money. So, but moving on to the Aaron Rodgers situation up in Green Bay or New York, I don't know, both, I guess. He's supposed to be playing for the New York Jets this coming year. Even recruited a couple of his buddies in Alan Lazard, and I know he requested for other players like Randall Cobb, and a couple of others. The tight end whose name escapes me right now.
Mercedes Lewis.
Mercedes Lewis. He asked for those guys, for the Jets to sign all those guys. It seems like he's committed to play for the Jets, but for whatever reason, that deal just hasn't been done yet. Aaron, do you have any idea why Aaron Rodgers is not currently signed to the New York Jets?
I think it's because both sides believe they have leverage. I mean, the Packers obviously want draft capital. I'm pretty sure they've moved on from wanting a first. I think they know that they're not going to get a first, which if you think trading a first for Aaron Rodgers, you're not going to get that. That's wild.
Yeah, not.
But I think they've kind of moved on to 2 second-round picks.
Okay.
So, and there's some talk of if he only plays for a year, then Green Bay would have to send a pick back. So that's just kind of wild to me.
Yeah,
but
really convoluted situation there. But
it's the Packers want draft capital,
right.
but the Jets don't want to give it up. I mean, I don't think this deal gets done before the draft. There's no real reason to on the Jets side. So
yeah, I mean, they're in no hurry to get it done. Worst case scenario, they go into the season without Aaron Rodgers, and they figure it out from there. But it is kind of
the Packers can't have Aaron Rodgers. They've already said that
they're going with Jordan Love, right?
They already said they want Jordan Love.
Yeah.
So if worst case scenario, they're stuck with Aaron Rodgers this year. Either he's on the bench or he's starting. And if he starts, then you're going to lose Jordan Love because he got drafted and his contract's up and he hasn't played.
He hasn't played
And
he hasn't played some snaps, but he hasn't played like really
against the Chiefs.
Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot he did. He did get his first start against us, and we set his parents up in the fucking nosebleeds. So,
Very last row.
very last row, baby. Kind of a dick move, but it is what it is.
And then if they start Jordan Love, then you got $60 million dead cap on the bench.
I'm just
so
sitting there. Yeah, it's
they're
not a great situation for Green Bay to be
not in a great spot.
Yeah. It is kind of funny though, Joe, how if he does go to the Jets, Aaron Rodgers' career is scarily similar to his old mentor Brett Favre over there. Do you think he's got a future with the Minnesota Vikings down the line?
At least he retired 5 times.
Yeah. You'll find him
He
in
contemplates
England.
retirement every year for the past 5 years, but
Yeah.
at least he ain't pulled the trigger.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
I'm with Aaron. The Jets are in a good situation. I mean, ultimately, it's the Packers who have to decide. Like you said, do you want 60 mil dead cap sitting on your bench, or lose the young quarterback you wasted a first round pick on if he leaves? Like, I mean, if I'm the Jets, I'm just sitting there like, hey, this is our offer. Take it or leave it, pretty much, because obviously it doesn't seem like no other teams are trying that hard to get Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah.
Because of how close it is right now. So obviously if they're not willing to accept the Jets offer, there's probably a lot of teams in the league like, well, we're not giving anything more than that.
Right.
So
And I mean, no one should be
it's weird.
at this point in his career. I don't think anyone should be trying to give away a first round pick for Aaron Rodgers, knowing he's probably only got 1 to 3 years left in him. But it'll be
Well, and with Aaron Rodgers, it really is a year-to-year thing because like
yeah.
he could go play for a year, and then like they said, contemplate retiring again, and then boom, now he's out. Like I don't think Green Bay should have to send back a draft pick though, because that's the risk you take for trading for the guy, knowing who you're getting.
Yeah.
So
I agree. But I mean, if that's the deal that gets done, then that's the deal that gets done. It's just
exactly.
It's weird, man. It's weird to see the similarities between him and Brett Favre just continue to get stronger and stronger. It's weird to see. Aaron Rodgers is just weird in general, though. Like, I mean, maybe I don't know. Maybe he'll get sued for embezzling millions of dollars.
Allegedly.
Allegedly embezzling a few $1 million from some old folks in Mississippi one day, like his old mentor. But we'll see.
It was allegedly poor.
It was poor, not old. My bad. I mean, some old are poor. I feel like I'm just digging myself a hole at this point. But yeah, Aaron Rodgers may or may not be a Jet next year. We'll just have to wait and see. But that'll do it for this episode of Swivel Chair Sports. I've been host Zach Circleberg Burkle here with my co-host Aaron Siege and Joe. Go ahead and say bye, guys.
Bye, guys.
Dang.
All right. Make sure to like and subscribe if you made it this far into the video. But other than that, that'll do it. Deuces.